I've seriously been neglecting you guys, giving you guys updates and whatnot. Right now I'm on my way to get the windshield fixed. I don't know if you guys can see that. But yeah, the windshield ended up cracking more than it needed to last night. So I am headed to get a new windshield, which that was not in the budget. And a few other things. I guess when I get back to the house, I can show you guys what's been going on around there. Not a whole lot. I keep forgetting to pick up the camera when I do projects. Small things here and there. Like, I don't know, I put another winch on the black four-wheeler, which it's the 300. I've sold that to my brother-in-law. And the winch that was on it, that's been on there for 4 years, of course, now it doesn't want to work. So for his birthday, I bought him a winch, which it's a Harbor Freight one for a really good price. And I'm swapping them out, putting that on there. Sorry, I gotta watch the traffic. I'm just going through town. See, look, there's like nothing. So, but anyway, I gotta go get a new windshield, and we'll talk to you guys in a bit. Here we are again in the garage. The previous video was like last week. I'm really slacking on videos. But anyway, here I am in the garage. Actually, like knee deep into this. All I'm doing is I'm actually doing upgrades. I sold the 300 Kimco to my brother-in-law. He's going to be using it for all the things he needs to be using it for. So this is, the winch was broke. It turns out one of the magnets on the inside was broke, and it was just not working right. And then I found out that all the old wiring was just toast. So now I stripped all the wiring out. I've got this piece off, which, I mean, like I said, I modified that earlier on with a little bit of a snorkel kit. Now that I'm all the way into it down here on the bottom, I'm glad to find out that the vacuum hose did not melt. So everything being held up high is good. I'm repositioning it so that it's a little bit tighter inside here instead of sticking all the way out to, it was right out to here. Now I just made it a little bit tighter so everything fits in there neater. And I'm also trying to find, well, I was actually trying to find placement for the winch box, the computer control box. There's a radiator in the front right here that goes up inside there. And there's actually a nice spot way tucked up high where the airflow is not going to mess with it under this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill holes on either side. I'm going to mount this underneath that. I had to find some bolts. I had some bolts right here that I'm going to be able to use perfectly for that, to mount that underneath there. I'd rather have bolts on there than screws that could slowly back out. And then we'll run the wiring underneath here. I've already got the other side off. I'll run the wiring underneath here all the way to the battery box. See, on this side there's no exhaust. So it's safer to run wiring on the side that there's no exhaust. That way you don't run into problems down the line. This particular one, the radiator fluid top off is right there. So you actually have to pull 2 screws off and then pop all this out on both sides, pull this off to be able to get to the radiator fill port. There's also another fill in the back for the reservoir. But if you're going to burp it right, then you'll need to put this up, pull the whole front end up, and then you can pour some into that little by little to fill up the whole system. But that's what I'm doing today. I'm going to get this the rest of the way wired up, and then we'll see where we are after that. I've already got a load of laundry in the washer. I already went to breakfast, took my meds, and what else? Yeah, that's lots of things. I bought one of those Harbor Freight tire machines. Eventually, when I get it mounted, I'm going to see how that works when I get that going. What else? Oh, bought a table saw, the cheapest one they have at Harbor Freight. All this stuff, I swear, this stuff is just crap. There's like no point in even putting this on there. So I'm not even going to put that on there. I'm going to have like a big boy table saw, and I'm not going to have the guards or nothing on there just so that I can use it, but you have to be so much more careful. People are wondering if this actually holds up. This is the 700 Kodiak sitting up on top of there. No, I did not drive this up there. I winched it up there, which I'll show you on this side. I hooked the winch to that. I put that extra board on there for just extra support because of the weight. And I yanked it up there with it on there. And then that way, with the door open, if something would have happened, it would have rolled out of the garage. And I would have been on the side of it, out of its way. But I could have reached up and grabbed the brake as well, or just mashed down on the brake down there. So, it's working out great. It doesn't really move that much the way I've got it set up. Eventually, I do want to cut this out right here, put some 45s or some cross supports, maybe 35 degree right there, just to support it, so I can take that chair and roll underneath it. I've got future plans for all of this. I'm going to rip all that out and redo it. I think it's becoming a waste of space because I really don't use anything over there. So I could use shelving and get stuff up on the wall and conserve more space. Right along with all this can go on that wall. The refrigerator, this is dead space right here. It's not getting used. So I'm not completely happy with that. It was cool when I first did it, but yeah, things change and you start realizing what's going on. I don't know. I think you guys saw the upgrades of this. I got this toolbox at the yard. One of our mechanics was let go, and he left this by the trash. So I cleaned it up, and now that's okay. What else? The mini truck is still out there. The F-250, I haven't done anything to it. It's still the same. I'm cutting grooves and stuff to get our water to drain off as the water falls. Brought the big truck home today. What else? Excuse me. We're trying to get the title for the Camaro because my wife has made up her mind that she's going to let that go. So, we'll be looking for at least $1,000. If somebody wants to offer more for that, then you can come and pick it up. But we still need to get the title. There's a problem with CarMart losing the title. So, yeah, we got to get the title for it. And then it'll be a rolling chassis. Last time we did get it started, but it had a knock in the front, which we believe that it's the oil pump. I have the parts for an oil pump, but I don't want to tear that apart, just like I don't want to tear the Mazda apart. Oh, I'm getting lazy. I'm getting tired of fixing stuff. Normal stuff like this, putting a new winch on, maybe adding speakers and radio to this, that I want to do, adding, doing oil changes on the four-wheelers and adding racks and stuff. You know, I want to do upgrades. I don't want to be working on the mechanics very much. If I have to put brakes on, if I want to do the mild stuff, I don't want to really break all the way into a freaking motor anymore. I'm tired of it. And I'm not good at it. To be honest, I'm not good at mechanicking. Brakes and other simple stuff, that's fine, but no. Anyway, let's get this patched up. I'm gonna run all the wiring and get this straightened up, and then see where we are from there. All right, I got these wires ran through here. I got the box mounted under here. Once I tighten these down, I went ahead and cut off the excess of the bolt that come through. That way it's nice and flush. And hello, she's off for her lunch break. So they're eating, well, Kathleen got to eat pizza for breakfast because mommy brought home pizza. But here we go. Over here, I got the wires ran up in there, zip tied them up in here, come through on the back side of the stick shift, or the gear selector, and then just like before, ran it along all the wiring where the wiring goes. And now I'll take these and I'll connect those to the battery, tie up the excess, and this install will be done. I'm also going to run one more wire through here for the cigarette lighter plug that I added onto that side. Well, it's on that over there. And I'll run wiring straight through here to go straight to the battery. That way we don't have to worry about turning it on or off. It'll always be there for him to have power. Just doing a couple little upgrades and cleaning up certain things that needed to be redone a little bit better. That way it'll last him longer. I don't like selling something that needs to be messed with by the next person. It doesn't make sense to me to leave something like that for somebody else. So always sell your stuff. Either let them know what's wrong with it or fix it before you let it completely go. So I'm going to get this buttoned up the rest of the way. Have a good lunch, everybody. We'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Right? Okay, there we go. All right, got that wired up. Got the cigarette lighter wired up. I actually ran it on this side. I re-ran this a little bit up tighter, farther away from the motor, so it has less chance of getting overheated and whatnot. Fixed up the battery box, took it for a test ride to make sure that everything's working correctly. Adjusted the idle for the shift to work properly. Went ahead and oiled the gear selector linkage so that it's not squeaking. We're getting close to a brake job, but we're going to go ahead and let it run for a little while. And let's see, there was a connection problem inside the key thing. I'm thinking it was rust, so I put some WD-40 in there and worked it in and out and worked it back and forth. So now that the key works perfectly. What else? Put a couple bolts, put a bolt right there, put a bolt right there where there was clips missing that were holding it together. So now that's nice and tight. I may pull the headlights out so that I can get the dirt out of them and get them cleaned up. Not sure yet. I'm gonna figure that out. Let's see. Water dripping underneath it. I hit some puddles when I took it for the little bit of a test drive. Other than that, everything seems to be on the up and up. He's gonna have a good time on this now. Now that everything's working more properly. And the cigarette lighter, actually, I wired it straight to the battery, so now he can use it anytime. He doesn't have to turn the key on and off to use it. And it'll have a better time. What am I trying to say? It's a direct contact. I didn't have an inline fuse to put with it. I'd like to put an inline fuse with it. Maybe that's something he can do later on. But for now, he can plug whatever he wants into that. That's low voltage. I wouldn't plug an inverter and try to run a TV off of it. So yeah, there we go. The Kimco 300. This thing's a beast. You can put like 600 pounds on this thing and run it around. It'll pull it no problem. It's got a high and a low and a reverse, and it's water cooled. I put the custom winch on the top. I didn't want to put it down on the bottom because the radiator actually sits down there. There's actually not really a spot for a winch in there. So I ended up mounting it up high. I'll probably do the same thing on the little red one. So, okay, enough talking. That's what I got going on this week. It's getting cold out here. I got a few more things I'm probably going to try to do, maybe for next week's video. But thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I talked a whole bunch. Hope you didn't get tired of it. See you on the next video. Give me some thumbs up for talking too much.